bring it up.
Let's go. Blessings, brother, blessings. First of all, I'm the AI backend guy, and I first have to start talking smack about Travis because you see how he talked smack about AI, but used it while he was on stage with you guys. So I'm gonna remember that. You're like, oh, AI is not that. How am I gonna use AI? So I was like, I'm gonna get him for that one. I'm gonna get him for that one. So one of the things I do is I basically take crazy entrepreneurs like Travis Brady and I fulfill the system in the back end. He calls me random times, middle of the day. Hey, I need this done. Or we're thinking about doing this. How do we make the back end work for me? How do we make sure that when someone comes in, they're getting tagged in the right place, they're where I can find them, one of our team members can get to them, and they can actually start closing more one-on-one calls. Most of the time, the biggest thing for me is tracking. So just like he was talking about when he says, do you know your numbers? He was speaking about the one general number of getting on the call. But what we have to learn in the business model is how much can I actually spend on an advertisement to get one client, right? Most people never know that number. And so for me, I spend most of my time building those processes out for businesses so they do know that number. How much does it cost for my acquisition? So how many KPIs do you have? Do I spend $1,000 on ads? It gets me 100 customers. Out of 100 customers, I'm closing $20,000 a deal. How much can I spend? That's what they call ROAS, right? The ROI of advertisements. You have to know your numbers, and you have to be willing to put those numbers out there to test it. How much can you spend to get a customer, and what does that look like for you? That number can be in so many things. It could be running ads. It could be a flight trip. Like I have a trip I'm supposed to be doing in January to go meet an author in New York, and for me, I'm like, how much is it gonna cost me for the plane? How much is it gonna cost me to stay out there? Because that's all of the thing is gonna cost me if I close this client, and it's gonna be like, what is this gonna actually cost me? What is he going to make me in the long run, right? Is he gonna be a $50,000 customer this year, and me spending $3,000 to go out there and see him absolutely worth it? To me, it was absolutely fucking worth it. So I was like, that's exactly on the back end side. For any business, you have to know your numbers. Now, just like when Josh was talking about social media and putting out content, that takes time and energy from yourself. And when you're looking at putting out on social media something, and he was like, post a fucking video, absolutely believe this. I actually asked the Facebook AI system, how many times can you post a day? It doesn't matter. They said you could post as many times as you'd like. Because now their algorithm is so good that if you are doing well, they're going to deliver your content to that person. It's no longer at 12 o'clock, there's the most people on there, and they used to show. Let me break down the actual part of that is the difference between the actual algorithm for Facebook and these platforms. Back in the day, you would have 1,000 followers, and then you would post, and it would show the 1,000 followers. And if that follower wasn't on the page when you post it, they wouldn't see it. Okay? So therefore, they would say, here's the perfect time to post because most of your fans are on the page ready to watch what you're doing. So therefore, there had to be timelines for that analytics. So now if you guys are sitting here really thinking like, oh, I need to know the time, the best things, absolutely not, right? Video content is king, but context matters the most, which is what are you talking about? And that's why what he was saying right here is actually perfect, which is all the things you do besides just result in business. I'm a king guy too. I love results in business. I think that's where I thrive the most. When I'm getting results, people are working well, I'm like, I'm showing it off. But the reality is it's not the most relatable. My dance videos get more than anything else because I like to dance. But I sit behind my computer and I'm a dancer. So it's like a real mix between the kind of content that I'll end up posting because it's like, do I post me in front of my computer all day? Because that's most of the time I'm spending is working on the back end process for that. And so for each of you, the four, let's see if I can take this pen. How do I wipe this board again? Do I just add one? All right, so let's take my notes out I have right here. So in every business, there's the four parts that I look at. I wanted to make sure I get this completely through so I can get in and out. So right here, you're going to have, put my hand on there. All right, so when you're looking at putting out social media, if you're doing anything on the back end, right, I'm always about the KPI of what's happening. So what most people do is even if they do content, they never understand what they're offering, right, which is like, what is my lead gen, right, what he was talking about earlier. Now, you have to be able to knock and put those and tell people what to do on social media. Most people are worried about putting out a video, but they're more scared of actually telling someone to come work with them or to get this from me, or I'm the guy to come get this from, right? Most people are sitting there on social media and they're like, I do want to do all these videos, but how many times do you actually do a call to action? Influence is the ability to get someone to think completely different or do something completely different. But I'll tell you one thing, you won't make a bunch of money just by making people think differently because they won't take much action. They'll just be like, oh, that was a great thought. That's cool. But am I actually telling somebody how to take the next step? Because that's the next level besides what he was telling us. What do you do to take the next step? And am I clear on that once my video is done? Hey, I want you to go to the link in my bio, click on that, and I want you to actually get 30 free days on my software so that you can learn how to implement your business. Well, now that's a clear outcome. Most people have shitty outcomes. Most people outcome is like, I just hope they click the link in the bio. I just like literally out of hope and godly power that they're going to run around and click on the link out of nowhere. That is how 90% of the business owners I work with believe. I believe they're just going to click on the link in the bio one day because my videos were so dope that one day they realized what I was offering them. Now, so we were talking about him earlier, right? You do the food truck, right? The difference between someone realizing that he does catering versus does he just sell food truck is a real simple conversation, which is, hey, if you're looking to have this food truck here, I want you to click on the link in the bio, we'll cater for you. That is a easy, clear message. But if I only see videos, him and food, yeah, he may go viral, but I may never actually know I can hire him. I may never know I can hire him. Because from you, you may have entertained me, you may have inspired me, but you never told me. So how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know I can click the link in your bio? How am I supposed to know I can join you in your process if you didn't tell me that I could? So when you're looking at your overall process is your lead gen and your management of that process is that you have to get someone on that road and you have to understand that exact process of what they're doing over time. Which is for me, it's like, hey, once you click into one of my leads, I'm going to usually do a demo because I do softwares. So my process is I'm going to give you a free demo on showing you exactly how my business and my software can help you. I use Go High Level as a backend. To me, I can tell you that because this is a bottom process, and it's what I do with Go High Level. It's an empty canvas. That shit is not great for everybody. If you're not a great painter, Go High Level is absolutely overwhelming.
You said I go what?
Go High Level. Go High Level is the software that I use. I white label it. I'm not afraid to tell you that. You want to know why? Because you have to do what I do. Doesn't matter if you have the same computer. Can you type as fast and can you make it actually work for you? So it's a blank canvas. So when people always say like, why don't you just talk about your brand? I'm like, Go High Level, everybody knows it. It's called brand power. I suck it from Go High Level. They do millions of dollars in marketing. So everybody knows what Go High Level is. But when you put me behind that same software, I'm going to do something completely different. It's like a Formula One car. You put someone who's never driven before versus a pro, they are going to drive that car absolutely differently. So for each of you in your business process of you learning these lead gen processes, the simple part to tell you is that you have to let people know and give them a clear way to come to you. And you have to exchange value in that manner. You're going to get a demo, right? Demo software is for most people who just sell software. They get on the demo, they're going to show you how the software works, and you have to think about how that works for your business. I can sit down, talk to you about your business, learn a little bit about it, and then I can implement technology into it. There's a difference. I'm not going to give you technology and just be like, hey, go ahead, it's going to work for your business. I'm going to take what you say to me, I'm going to develop it into a process, and I'm going to deliver that technology to you. It's kind of like if you had a brick, and I'm like, hey, you want this brick? And people are like, why do I want this brick? But then I carve it into a beautiful statue. You're like, I absolutely want that brick now. That's the difference. I'm not going to give you a brick. I'm going to give you a carving. I'm going to carve it out in position for you. I'm going to carve out a space in the world for you. So the thing I want to teach you guys today is, one, after talking to Josh, you should know that you should just be posting. You should learn, after talking what Travis was talking about, you have to know that you don't just have to post what your business is doing because you're fighting for attention. Attention matters. Right? I work with $100 million fund companies at this moment, right? And most of the time, I had to fight with those guys who were like, I want to be viral. I'm like, how about you just talk to the person who wants to pay you? Fuck, you don't need 1 million views. If 500 people actually found you for the value you're giving for, and they were looking for that, especially on YouTube, because that's what I specialized at the time, why does it matter you don't have 500,000 views? When they started raising capital and making money and they were getting sold the virality, right? Which you should understand that it does work, but at the same time, when money moves, most people learn from somebody and then they move their money towards them. I've only paid people I've learned from. I came to an event like this and I met Travis. I was like, whatever it takes, I'm about to work with you. We're about to make some shit happen. I fucks with it. I'm sitting in the closet 90% of the time behind my computer. You finally showed me what it is to step out a little bit, meet some more people, and actually just be able to have that conversation in person about someone's business and give them all sorts of value. Because I extremely love to give value. I just love to be like, okay, what do you need? I can help you with that. Let me tell you what you need. I'm just going to tell you what you need to do. I can listen to your business. I can comprehend it. I can give you the software and the technology and the strategy you need to actually just execute on it. And so for anybody else in here, when you're thinking about what am I supposed to be posting, pay attention to those 4 things that you were talking about with the music, I can butcher that. So the king, the warrior, understand that every day for most business owners is a different day. Some days I'm absolutely just having a great time and I can talk about lifestyle. Some days I'm sitting behind my computer. Other days I'm going through battles. But you have to learn how to share those things, right? And what most people do is they freeze and they say, I don't know how to share that. Start. Pull out a fucking camera. That's how you start. You don't start by sitting with no camera out and being like, oh, I'm going to figure this out. You start by picking up the fucking camera, putting it on a stand, and talking. And then if you fuck up, you at least start it. You then can watch yourself back and be like, oh, I don't really know if I like that or not. Cool, but you started. But most people never do that part. When I ask people, how many videos in your phone do you have of you talking about your business or your day? 0. What the fuck? How do you expect to go from not even shooting videos to posting 30 times a month? I have hundreds of videos that I hate in my phone. Hundreds of them. I'm like, fuck, I hated that video.
Only hundreds?
Literally, probably thousands, honestly. I've tapped out a couple TBs in this mug. I can't go back too far without it being like, hey, you need to go on iCloud to find that video. I'm like, damn, okay. So for every person, the one thing I want you to know is pull your camera out. Pull your camera out every day. Because you can also do what we call back-end content, which means you shoot videos of yourself doing what you're doing, and then you overlay video on the back of that, or you overlay words on top of that, and it's as simple as that. B-roll. It doesn't necessarily have to be you talking, right? You're going to see more and more people come up here and talk, and some of them have developed over years, and some of them just got tossed out here like we just did Josh. We're like, hey, that, boop. Go talk today. We're going to bring you out here because that may have been, he may have not spoken to people in front of, and for the first time in a while, but he's only going to get better because he's usually behind the camera murking it. He's a fucking assassin. Him and Travis together are assassins together. Travis can tell you anything about brand, systems, and back end, and then he makes Travis look sexy. And that's a true statement because if you watch some of Travis's old videos, you realize he also went through processes of hiring videographers.
I'll show you.
Yo, he's a...
Videos, and you're going to know exactly which videos Josh films.
Facts. You're going to know the difference.
But you're going to see, I'll get on my soapbox.
Okay. Right? So, and you can tell even when he's up here that he's a skilled speaker. He's been doing it for 10 plus years as speaking. And when he's in front of the stage, it's not even that he will go forever. It's that he has so much value that he can give. And especially in an environment like this for you guys, it's like most people are paying to see Travis Brady on stage and other places like that. And when we brought these intimate gatherings together, we're like, yo, we want to kind of bring it a little bit closer. He was like, I want the brotherhood. I want to help other men understand all the things that I've spent to. So the knowledge he's giving you is millions of dollars worth of coaching and knowledge and millions of dollars of rooms that he's been in. So I like to come and meet with Travis all the time because it's like either way he's going to teach you. He's kind of like the very experienced grandfather who always has the perfect story to tell you. And you just you remiss back on it like I remember when he told me that, like now I understand it. And so for today, the one thing we want everybody to do that's even part of the brotherhood is start to stand out. Create your community, shoot your fucking videos. Because no one's going to know who you are unless they see your face or they see what you're doing. And just like what he said, it is your fault when people don't know who you are. When most people say, why can't I make sales? No one knows who the fuck you are. How are you supposed to sell to somebody and they have no clue who you are? You're starting from a brand new position, but it all starts with one getting out of places, networking with places, and then putting your face out there. Travis is growing locally. I was just talking to my man James over here, and he was like, I think I saw his ad in his pool. And I was like, yeah, that pool right there. That was the pool right here, Jeremiah. Like that's the pool right here. And that's the funny part about it because he's spending money locally, and that's like it's called a local strategy. Is like how many people can actually see your face? Can they know what you do? And then when you see them in person, people buy from a familiar face. That's what they do. When people go, I think I know you. We're already kind of friends. I'm like, yeah, of course you know me. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you met. If somebody says that to me, I don't say, I don't know, maybe. Yes, you know me. Absolutely. I'm glad you thought about it, right? So, I was going to, overall talking about the lead gen and processing, the one thing I wanted to lead it into is that to even start this shit that I wanted to show you, you have to pull out the camera and speak. People have to know what you do. And just be absolutely okay with sucking. Because I'm telling you, get past the cringe. You may feel like it's cringy, but once you start getting past that cringe and you get 5 people like, yo, that fucking shit was hilarious. Right? I got people who are like, I didn't even know you could dance. I'm like, neither did I. Neither did I. Now I know. We both know. Now I'm going to go out and dancing. So I'm going to leave it on that. I'm going to bring Travis back out here. But listen, if you're going to meet me or see me again, the question I'm going to ask you is how many times have you pulled out that fucking camera and have you posted? I ask that question to people all the time. Like, have you posted? We've seen each other 2 weeks in a row. You haven't posted. I'm the guy going to hold you accountable. I'm like, I didn't see it. Tag me in it. If I didn't see it, I should have been tagged. Why wasn't I tagged? You didn't want me to know it existed? They're like, I didn't know I could tag you. And then I had to teach some people how to tag, like my man over here, Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam, but guess what? He started posting. I was like, tag me in it. He was like, I'm collaborating. I'm like, I'm not in that video. Only collaborate with me if I'm in the video, but tag me if I'm... So it's all about a learning process, and even Sam's starting to kill it now. He was already killing it, but now he's putting out the content so consistently, and he has so much content on the back end. You could probably fucking destroy most people in here with the amount of content and podcasts that he did because he ran into the podcast game for years at a point in time, and he started to get 10 times better than most people, and now, he can get people on the podcast with easy, and now he's charging people. He's like, shit, it's not free no more. I'm like, yeah, you do have a back team now, so it's no longer free. So I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys for your time. Make sure you post, because when I see you again, I promise I'm going to ask you, all right? So we're going to bring Travis back up here. Let's go.
Give it up for Dom, guys.
Clip it up.
Sam.
Oh, let's go, Mr. Sam.
Let's go. Did you guys get some good shit?